Victoria, sex. We got to talk.
Yeah, we do. I mean, in long-term passionate marriage, it is so common for people, when I work in the office with people who have trouble in their relationships, I get very, very concerned, Michael, when people say, well, we don't have sex anymore, or sex is not, something that we're doing that often. I have to say, sex is the glue. It's the mortar that keeps the bricks together, the fabric of the relationship together. And I have to say that one of the most important aspects of long-term passionate marriage is good sex often. And people sort of kind of balk at that a little bit, but it's a very important piece to, sex, Michael, is a use it or lose it prospect. We have neural pathways in our brain that need to be reinforced often in order for them to stay alive. I mean, and that goes for all things that we want to. If you want to keep speaking a language, you have to keep speaking the language into your old age. If you want to keep riding your bicycle, you need to keep doing it. I mean, it's so important. So when I see couples that say, sex is off the table, I don't have a lot of hope for you, I have to say. So I'm not trying to be negative. Okay?
Realistic.
I'm just being realistic at this point. And the thing is that it's not a Victorian style, where, the woman has to be, doing what the husband wants
or demands.
Or yeah, exactly.
No.
It's not about a demand, like giving into the demands piece. It's more about, it's not about self-sacrifice.
No.
But really, I think, Michael, what it is, it's about saying, as an adult, that I understand that this aspect of the relationship is very important to keep the very matrix of a long-term relationship passionate and enjoyable and happy. So I, as an adult, will agree to do this even if I'm not feeling like it. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of people, once you start having sex, you're starting to open up that neural pathway. And then when you do that, you're actually sort of feeling like doing it more.
Yeah. Well, I work with somebody who got a lot of migraines, and they're like, I don't want anybody to touch me with that. I said, well, can you not understand that even if your partner just touches your feet, not massage your feet, just might
a little
help?
bit, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then
being receptive.
Over time, maybe foot massage, and over time, maybe foot and leg massage, and over time, who knows what it could lead to?
Right.
Oh.
It's just being open and receptive and understanding that is something that don't say no to always. Be open to saying yes, even when you sometimes don't feel like it, because understand that neural pathways are at work that are going to be rebuilding. The neural pathways are going to be rebuilding, and the hormones and the oxytocin that keeps the bonding, which is a very interesting hormone, oxytocin. It's the nesting hormone. And when we cuddle and when we touch and when we have sex, it becomes more activated in our bodies. So it's something to really, to make sure that you don't forget. And daily sexual expressions, these are important things.
Yeah,
daily
we're not
sexual.
talking, kitchen table sex necessarily, but on the other hand, tender touching.
Tender touching, kissing, flirting, hugging.
Feet in the lap.
Was that?
Feet on my lap.
Feet on your lap, massaging, exactly. Slow dancing. And just start to understand that you got to get back into the more sensual aspect of a relationship. It is, again, a use it or lose it experience, neural pathway wise.
Yes.
So feed the bank account of the neural pathways of sexuality on a daily basis. I'm not saying you're having sex on a daily basis, but you're having sexual experiences, expressions, flirting, sexting with your husband and wife. I think that's a good thing, texting,
And it doesn't have to be just about the sex. It's about the appreciation of it.
Right.
It's when you wore that, you looked, words, wow.
You're building like an atmosphere of sensuality between you two.
Yeah, a culture of sensuality, a culture of respect, but it's gently uplifting.
Absolutely. And people are more receptive to, more profound acts of sex if there is an atmosphere of wooing and flirting and, and really appreciating physicality and, indulging all the senses, taste, touch, audio, all the different senses. So, these are all sort of the lead up to lovemaking, but eventually it's got to get into the lovemaking, and let's not forget. And people say to me, well, how many times is appropriate? I says it depends on the couple.
Very personal question.
It's a very personal question, but here's what I say to people: the more we have really good communication, really good exchanges, mutual interests, the less sex is important. So that's important to hear. But if sex is the only way the couple communicates, then sex is a really important aspect. It's the main bridge. So you have to assess if there's other stuff going on there in terms of creating bridges for the couple. A nice sort of solid concept in terms of how many times. I think couples should think about it a couple times a month, long term. Like when you're newly married, people are having sex every other day or every day, but I'm talking long term, the 10.
I'd heard a rumor that it was every couple of hours,
Maybe
depending on the marriage.
Exactly.
Just saying.
But for like the 10 year and the 15 year and the 20 year,
Yes.
don't let more than a couple of weeks go without having sex.
And plan it.
Yes.
Block out the time. I know
Right.
it's not spontaneous and exciting like when you first
No,
dated,
but planning is important.
but create the mood, the place, the space.
That's right.
Ask, say, hey, what are you doing Saturday afternoon for 4 hours? Let's turn off the phones, turn off the lights.
That's right. And people say to me, well, isn't once every couple of weeks too much? I'm like, listen to me. If neural pathway building is what we are prioritizing, then the more often the better. So initially, when you're trying to get the neural pathways going, think of it as sometimes once a week, so that we can get those neural pathways going. The more you use it, the more you're going to want it.
It creates the strong bonds.
Exactly.
It creates that strength that we need.
And remember that there are many kinds of sexual encounters. They don't
Yes.
have to be, hours long every time. We got things to do. But it can be sort of the quickie, the shower, the long drawn out experience. It depends, but shake it up. Variety is very important, and it doesn't have to be all the same kind of long and too many hours, etc. No, it can be one person's experiencing pleasure one time, then the next time two people are experiencing pleasure, then the next time. So it
Somebody
depends.
else, it's back and forth, it's give and take, it's sharing and caring, but never the same.
Exactly.
If it's Tuesday and it's 7:30 p.m. and it's time to do your duty, it's the wrong approach.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be into that. So free yourself up a little bit to be vulnerable, to try new things. And when I say new things, it doesn't have to be whips and chains.
Oh, right, that's another video series, okay.
No, it can be something new, like it can be a different kind of music, it can be a different kind of scent, it can be a different room. So keep it simple.
New bed sheets, different type of bed sheets.
Absolutely. So it's about just keeping the interest alive and not putting it on the back burner. It always concerns me when couples are prioritizing everything but. Let's say they have kids and all of their emotion goes into their children.
Yes.
Or pets, all of their emotion, pets sleeping between them. And then all of their emotion is going to the pets or the children. It is an important thing to prioritize sexuality in the couple.
Yes.
And let's not forget that the healthier the couple is, the healthier the family is. The healthier and more adult the experiences between the couple, the more they will have energy and time for the rest of the family.
Yes.
Also, I tell people outside of the bedroom to flirt. Flirting is a lost art. And especially if you're in a long-term relationship, don't forget to flirt.
It's good to say to your partner, when you get backlit like that, hard to concentrate.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
I like sexy texting. As I said, texting, sexting, sexy emails, nice voice messages. I have a beautiful couple that I have worked with, and one of the things that he now does is he does lots of little sticky notes all over the place. Sticky notes. I love you. You're cute. Can't wait to see you later. That kind of thing. And that is an important piece to keep that oxytocin going, that sort of nesting experience. And regular touch. Regular touch is really important. Don't go a day without hugging, kissing, slow dancing. Touching is very important.
We live in a politically correct society in North America, so we certainly
PDA.
not getting our friendship hugs in like we used to.
Yeah.
And coworkers, I used to see people come to work, give each other a hug and high fives in
Yeah.
the 70s and 80s, but now, oh no, fist bumps are it.
No, I got to say that I get really, really a lot of pushback in the office when I'm saying, okay, guys, we're going to do hugging. We're going to do some hugging. And because they're like, I haven't hugged this person, and they've been married 17 years. I haven't hugged this person in so long, in a year. I'm like, okay, we need to reintroduce hugging and touching and slow dancing, because what it does is it calms a person down. When we touch, we actually bring down the fight-flight response. It creates relaxation. So the argument for just imposing regular touch is to bring the levels of anxiety and anxious and resentment down, so that the more relaxed you are. Remember, Gottman said the more relaxed the couple was, the less they were interested in fighting.
Yes.
So massaging and hugging and slow dancing and touching go a long way toward keeping that fight-flight response, that amygdala, that survival part of the brain that reacts at 1/32 of a second really fast. So this is an important aspect of keeping the good sex often, long-term, passionate marriage. So that was a long thing about sex. And
Yes.
I just want you to take that under advisement, because the science is there, people. The science is there.
And so it's a bank account we have with each other. It's a relationship bank account, a sexual bank account. It's do
And we
we
gotta
share?
fill it.
And do we fill it up? Gentle touch, flirting touch, all appropriate touch. I remember having a client who had migraines for 17 years of a 17-year marriage.
Right.
And was like, so I said to her, so when's the last time he massaged your feet? Oh, he doesn't touch feet.
Yeah.
When's the last time you massaged his feet?
Did
oh,
it change once that started to happen? Like once they started to touch more?
Let's just say that he blamed me for lack of sleep for a long time.
Okay. All right. So you get the picture, people, okay? Good sex often. All right.